Hey guys, Roman and Reaper here, just back with a quick little video. Yep, cinema time, outside the cinema, time for new cinema trip. Outside, ready to watch Dungeons and Dragons on Among Thieves. I'm looking forward to this. Looks like a lot of fun. I've been hearing good things, and I like the director's previous film, Game Night. I know a lot reviewed it on the channel, but it's funny things are coming full circle this year, but and also because a lot of this was filmed locally here in Northern Ireland, so gotta check it out. So I'm gonna head in, get myself some snacks, get my seat, and get ready to roll the dice. So yeah, just got back from seeing Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I was looking forward to this because the trailers for this looked like it would be a bit of fun, and it's from Dalian Goldstein, who brought us Game Night, which I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. It's the best studio comedy of the last several years. Very clever and funny, and also because all of this was filmed quite locally to me in Northern Ireland, so of course I am excited to see my home country represented on the big screen in a big budget blockbuster. But is the film any good? Let's find out. So in the film we see Edgin Darvis, a bard, and Holga Kilgore, a barbarian, spring themselves out of prison. They were locked up for a crime they did commit. Once out, they plan to reunite Edgin with his daughter Kira. He left her to carry out the job that got him and Holga locked up. However, getting her back is not going to be so easy, because standing in their way is conman Forge Fitzwilliam and evil wizard Sophina, who has her own intentions. So, to carry it out, Edgin and Holga assemble a team including Sorcerer Simon and Tiefling Druid Doric to get back Edgin's daughter and also take Forge's fortune. So yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, obviously over the last few years, has exploded in popularity thanks to things like Critical Role and, of course, Stranger Things. I'm coming into this really as a casual, with most of my knowledge coming from what I've seen in Stranger Things, which I assume most of the audience will be as well. But in saying that, I think this is a film that will satisfy both casuals like me and you, and also hardcore D&D players, because this is just a lot of fun for everyone. This is a contender to be the 4-quadrant blockbuster of the year, and it is a blast. For one, there's lots of fun fantasy world building, with plenty of unique creatures and magic spells, and far off mythical worlds. It's complex enough to satisfy the D&D hardcores, and also easy enough for casuals to follow. I mean, sure, it does sort of fall into the fantasy trap of go to this place, get this thing. But considering we're adapting a tabletop role playing game, that's fine, and it is maybe a little long though. But it's all wrapped around a super fun heist movie in the vein of like the Ocean's trilogy, which keeps this fantasy adventure fun and fast paced. But really none of this would be complete if it wasn't for the characters who are all super likable and entertaining. Like our core set of heroes here are all very likable and very sympathetic. You know, Chris Pine is charming and likable as Edgin. He's funny, also quite tragic as a man who's trying to do his best to make up for all of his feelings in the past. Justice Smith as Simon is good, and his arc of gradually building up his confidence is one that I imagine a fair amount of the audience will relate to. And I also really enjoyed Sophia Lillis from the It films as Tiefling Druid Doric. They have a ton of fun with her shape shifting ability, and particularly this absolute firecracker of a sequence where we see her shift in and out of all these different animal forms. It's so much fun. But of the this core four, uh, Michelle Rodriguez is probably the best. Obviously, she's been cooking the last few years in terms of the performances she's been giving, and this is no different. She's tough, badass, funny, and yeah, sympathetic. So you've got a likable cast of rogues in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy. And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, Reggae Jean Page, he is freaking hysterical. He plays this paladin Zenk, and the character is not too dissimilar from Volume 1 Drax the Destroyer, you know, wherein he is completely literal and has not a single ironic bone in the body. And some of the best gags in the film come from from Zank. Like I always wanted more of him because he's just this wonderful straight man to everyone else around him. He's a delight. Oh, and also a delight is, yep, Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant appreciation time. He's in his villain phase, and I am living for it. He is having a blast playing this properly slimy weasel of a character Forge. He's so much fun. Oh yeah, and there's also a genuinely unnerving villain in Safina, and I really liked her. So yeah, we've got an all-round likable set of characters, but where would these characters be without, a sense of humor? And and this is probably one of the film's strongest suits because there are some properly hysterical gags here. Yep, a standout being the bit you've probably seen by now where they ask a corpse 5 questions. It is properly laugh out loud stuff, and I got the audience erupting into laughter on quite a few occasions. Obviously, not every gag lands like this, and the jokes come slightly less frequently than you'd expect, so it's not quite as funny as Game Night. But the film very consistently delivers. Go and see this on the big screen with like as big a crowd you can. Trust me, it is that kind of experience. And also, quite surprisingly, the film has a genuine beating heart. Like, obviously, all the characters are very sympathetic and have compelling arcs that are paid off quite well in Act 3. But also, the film hits off some surprisingly poignant notes, but it never once clashes with the humor. Like, everybody whinges that the MCU has ruined blockbusters because now these films can't take anything seriously. But the trick is, yeah, I'll allow the humor to work its way naturally into the film and allow the audience to have fun with it, but not at the cost of its heart, which is exactly what this film does. Like, it is, yeah, a very consistently funny film, but also very heartfelt. Characters make jokes and crack wise, but they never lose sight of who these characters are. Like, so it never once devolves into parody. It is knowingly funny, but it also knows when to dial it back. And also, what's a lot of fun is the action. The film delivers plenty of it, obviously being a $150 million budget blockbuster. We get several fight scenes where Michelle Rodriguez just plows her way through hordes of men in shiny armor, and it's just so satisfying watching her do so. And the film also delivers several large scale set pieces. There's a super entertaining one involving a dragon, and there's also like a tournament involving a maze that is it's super exciting to watch. And also, yeah, it delivers on the big final set piece with Sofina, not just in the spectacle department, but also in the heart and humor as well. It's a properly satisfying finale to everything that's been built up. It also helps as well. The film is wonderfully realized visually. Cinematography, beautiful, obviously capturing the Northern Irish landscapes wonderfully. And the visual effects are stellar. The CGI is, seamless. Obviously, you expect that for $150 million, but there's also a lot of practical effects. So you've got all these unique, wacky creature designs that are realized practically, and it helps make it all feel a bit more tangible and sort of immerse you in it. It's wonderful. This is a big W for practical effects. Oh yeah, and it's also got a pretty rock solid score from Lord Balfe. I can't wait to see what he's cooking for Dead Reckoning. Right? And yeah, I think that's about what I have to say about Among Thieves. This is a proper delight. It is a big screen, crowd pleasing experience, and a proper four quadrant blockbuster. Go see this on the big screen, please. You will love it. And I myself had a blast. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Oh yeah, by the way, stay for the credits. There is a mid-credit scene that is brief but very, very funny, giving you one last laugh. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Are you a casual like me, or are you a hardcore D&D fan? And what would you like to see done with this world next if we get potential future installments? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.